some of the best golf courses aren't about scorecards, it's about settings. Today we're going to be at Michigan's Upper Peninsula where wilderness fairways meet wide open water. We'll check out Stony Point and get a behind-the-scenes tour, then spend some time at the Indian Lake Golf Course where the views are just as memorable as the shots. Let's get started.
You don't have to go far to feel like you've stepped into the wild. Sometimes all it takes is a quiet road, a stretch of water, and a place where nature still sets the pace. Today on Great Getaways, we're heading out to Stony Point, a rugged, beautiful corner where the land meets the water and the wilderness reminds you to slow down, look around, and breathe it all in.
We're here at Stony Point Golf Course today, just outside of Manistique, just west of town. Now we came out to the golf course. Even though I don't golf, a lot of the people that watch the show, when they're up here in the middle of the wilderness, still would like to go out and do a little bit of golfing. So we're going to take you out on the course today, look at some of the signature holes, and just learn, just more about this golf course and what all it has to offer.
When a place is this visible, right along a major highway in the Upper Peninsula, it takes a lot of care to keep it welcoming. And when it's done right, it becomes more than a pull-off. It becomes part of the journey. So we talked to Ian Hamilton, the Stony Point Golf Course Superintendent. Ian will give us a complete tour of this wilderness course.
We're out here on the course right now. I'm with Ian. Now, Ian is a superintendent here and takes care of this whole golf course. And we just wanted to find out a little bit about it. How many holes?
It's a 9-hole golf course.
Okay.
Very scenic, typical UP, golf course. You're in the woods. We do have some open holes. It's the best conditioned golf course in Schoolcraft County.
Okay.
We got some of the best greens, best fairways in the UP.
Is it a hard course?
It's not hard, but it's not easy either. It's tree-lined fairways, and you got to pick your shots. But it's a very fun golf course. For all ages and all skill levels.
Okay, I see 2 spots with water. We had a lot of water out here.
We have a few water holes, yes, but you can avoid them pretty good.
So. They've never seen me golf. I don't avoid them, I join them. So, what are some of the signature holes?
I guess here we really don't have any. My favorite hole is number 7. It's par 3. Big greens here. We do have, kind of unique to us, is we do have back-to-back par 5s.
Okay.
So that's not really something you see a lot on the golf course, but here we do have 2 back-to-back par 5s.
Okay, that's a long That's a long hole.
Yes. Yep.
And now, what about the rest of them? Are lengthwise, 3 par, 4 par?
We have 2 par 5s, 2 par 3s, and the rest are par 4s.
Okay. We're at number 1, looking out for number 1 right now, but we're going to scoot over to
number 3.
Number 3. Take a look at that one.
As we head toward hole 3, you really start to feel what golfing the wilderness is all about. The fairway opens up, the trees pull back just enough, and you're reminded this course wasn't built to overpower the land. It was designed to live with it. It's quiet, it's natural, and it lets the scenery be part of every shot.
Brought us over to a par 5 now,
Yep.
And we're looking from the green, which you can see that's a beautiful big green here. But if you look down the fairway, you'll also see how nice that is. That looks like I could almost do this one. It's that nice. You keep them this nice all the time.
Yeah. That's one of our goals here. Is this is a hidden gem of the UP. It's conditions are. I'll put these greens and fairways up against anybody else in the UP for this little 9-hole golf course. If you're looking for a great time, great conditions, and the price is right, come out and enjoy it for the day with the family. We also are dog-friendly golf course. You can bring your dog and you can go out on the golf course. We have a few members and that bring their dogs.
Hey, that makes it great. I bet they love that.
They do.
One thing, and maybe I brought this up already, you want to be a pretty straight shooter when you're coming down these fairways because you get off anywhere around us, and you better bring plenty of balls. I guess we put it that way.
Yeah, it can be trying sometimes, but there is a lot of the fairways are actually more forgiving than what they look from the tee box.
Okay.
It's more intimidating than what it is.
They call it Stony Point for a reason. Long before there was a fairway or a flagstick, this stretch of land along Lake Michigan was known for its rugged, rocky shoreline that juts out into the big lake like a natural lookout. Early travelers and locals used the point as a landmark, and the name just stuck. Today, those same stones and that wild lake shore still shape the character of this place, where you're not just golfing a course, you're teeing off on a piece of Michigan's shoreline history. It's the kind of spot where the land tells the story, and every hole feels like part of the landscape instead of something built on top of it.
I know a lot of times when I have been out on courses that it gets a little confusing sometimes where you can drive and where you can't. But it looks like you guys got it down, so it's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, we have cart pass, and it's pretty nice. You get to cut through a lot of woods, like you'll all of a sudden be driving down an alley of trees, and then you open right up to your next tee box.
All right. That's what we're going to do now, too, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's get going.
Thanks, Ian, for the guided tour. You shared some great insights, and I'm sure our viewers really appreciated it. Before we wrap up our day here at Stony Point Golf Course, we have one more person to speak with. Kiki Maples, the course manager.
We got out here on the course, and all of a sudden another cart pulled up, and it happens to be Kiki. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay. And she's a manager here. And so we asked her to come over and tell us a little bit more about what all the courses got. So give us some background on that.
Well, I think you probably got the course background from Ian, so I can kind of fill you in on like the clubhouse stuff, because that's a little bit more my purview. So we're open daily from 8 to 7 is our clubhouse manned hours. Now we do have an honesty box, so if you happen to be here and you show up at say 7:30, you're still able to golf. We just ask that you slip some cash or a check into that honesty box, and you're welcome to use the course.
Wow.
And we're open 7 days a week.
Okay, now generally when do you open? Up here?
Yeah, it's definitely weather dependent on both opening and closing for the season. So typically we're looking at early May for opening, and sometime in the end of October is usually when we'll shutter down.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that about when the snow starts?
Yeah. And then price-wise, we're really reasonable here. So it's $30 for 9 holes and a cart. So you're really not going to get that rate most other.
Tell us a little bit about the clubhouse too.
Well, we have your restroom area. We have some golf items for sale there. We've got sundries, we've got beer, some alcoholic beverages for purchase, snacks, Powerade, sodas, things like that. So we don't sell like pizzas or hot dogs or anything like that because we're so close to town. It's so convenient if you want to take a break for a snack to just run 4 minutes into town, and then we're right back out here.
Before we wrapped up at Stony Point, we decided to check in with some of the locals and see what they really thought about the course and how much fun they were having.
We just stopped over to the clubhouse. We seen a bunch of guys sitting over here. We thought we'd come over and talk to them about the course out here. Now, are all you guys from the area?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do you get out here golfing very often?
Twice a week.
All right. So what do you think of the course?
Very nice.
Best one. Pretty hard too.
Lots of water on it.
Lots of water on it?
Yeah.
Is it a hard course then?
No.
Well, the only
fun
reason
course.
it's fun, but the fairways are narrow, so if you go off, make sure you got your bag full of balls because you're gonna need it.
Okay. And I got one gentleman over here who decided to go into the woods chasing his ball, and he paid for it.
I didn't go in after my own, I went after somebody else's.
Even worse, huh?
Yeah.
Well, hey, appreciate you guys sitting and talking to us for a minute.
Okay, thanks.
It's been nice, and wish us luck.
Thanks.
We are now at the Indian Lake Golf and Country Club here, just outside of Manistique. We're right on Indian Lake, and what a picturesque place that it is. Now, we were just learning a little bit about the area and see that it was once an Indian burial ground, so it's got a lot of history to it that we want to learn more about, and we will be meeting here with the manager of the golf course to learn all this information and go out on the course and see what that looks like.
This is truly a place where the wilderness meets the fairway. Indian Lake Golf and Country Club isn't just about golf. It's about history, community, and a way of life that's rooted right here in the woods of Schoolcraft County.
It's got a lot of history to it. How long has it been here?
It's got a lot of history. It's been around since 1927, so we're going to celebrate our 100-year anniversary in 2027.
Anything special planned?
We're working on a pretty good celebration starting probably June of 2027.
Okay.
Actually, the back nine is actually 25 years in the making when it's 18 holes this year. So the year 2000 was when we put the back nine in.
Okay.
And it's always been a private club up until that point.
Okay.
2008, we opened it up to the public and members of Schoolcraft County to come here and golf.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I noticed on the sign out front that it says it's
private
open to the public, but it's also
It
private.
used to be a private country club. Now
Okay.
it's a corporation.
All right. Now, I was reading on the sign out front that the people that originally started actually built a building.
Yeah.
That must have taken some work, I'll tell you what.
From volunteers. And
Yeah.
well, I've been doing a lot of maintenance on it, and they used a lot of scrap lumber, to say the least, but whatever was available at the time.
Yeah, well, that's the way a lot of things went
Yeah.
back then. So, well, tell us, just give us an overview on the whole course.
Well, it's actually a hidden gem. A lot of people don't know about it. And the fairways and greens and stuff are immaculate, especially for this time of year. We had snow 5 weeks ago here.
Okay.
So you know, we got a short season all the time, so we try to get everything crammed into one spot. Our greenskeeper is doing a fantastic job bringing things back to where they should be.
Okay. Now, what is the easiest way for people to find it? Because it is kind of hidden.
Yeah, we have a website you can go on. It's
Okay.
Indian Lake Golf Course at Manistique.
Very good.
Do a search on that, and once people play there, they say, I can't wait to tell my friends to come up and play. And our rates are very competitive, low compared to other courses with the same caliber.
Okay, and we talked to several people out there basically saying the same thing too,
That's good.
loving this course.
Yeah, beautiful. That's what we like.
Thanks, Gary.
Now we're going to head out onto the links to experience the course ourselves on this absolutely beautiful day. One of the nice things here at the Indian Lake Golf and Country Club is the fact that you are right out here along the lake. You can see Indian Lake out behind us here. Always nice view when you come down around here. Some days it might get a little windy. That might be a little tougher, but not all of it's right next to the lake. You get off to the side a little bit, cut that wind out. Got a good day. Today just happens to be a really beautiful day. Got very little wind. We got a nice sunny day. Couldn't ask for a better day in spring to be out here golfing. Here's a little history from this area. In his book, The Adventures of a Young Entrepreneur, George Vassoff believed the land had a future beyond logging, and Indian Lake became part of that vision. As forests were managed and the region began to shift toward recreation and tourism, the idea of a golf course here made sense, a way to enjoy the wilderness without losing it. Indian Lake Golf and Country Club became a symbol of that transition, turning former forest land into a place for people to gather, relax, and experience the beauty of the UP.
As we kept moving along, we saw a young couple walking up to the green, so we figured we'd stop and get their take on the course.
What do you think of the course?
I think it's a great course. It's a lot of fun. They do a good job maintaining it and everything. And there's some challenging holes, but there's also holes that you can kind of dominate on, easier birdies, if you will. But yeah, it's a good time.
What's your favorite hole?
What's your favorite hole?
I don't know. I like hole 12 because it's really short. So it's a drivable hole for the women's tees. And I like the back nine a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we talked to some people back there, kind of saying the same thing. Problem we run into here is if it's windy at all, you got a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, but back in there, you're in the trees, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I made you get a few bugs back in there. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring bug spray.
It's kind of two different courses back
Yeah.
from the back nine and the front nine.
Okay, so how's your play been today?
Well,
You can lie a little.
I wish you guys had recorded this drive just now. I just piped one, and the drive you guys recorded went right in the water. So come on, guys. But no, I've been playing pretty bad. She's been carrying me, so.
I don't know. It's been fun. It's
Yeah.
just fun.
Well, you guys look like you're having fun out here.
Feeling pretty good about the conversations we were having, we stopped when we met another golfer along the way. I introduced myself and found out we were talking to a fellow Tom, and he was glad to tell us how things were going out there.
We're out here on the course. We just stopped to talk to some of the people that are out here golfing today with Tom right now. Tom, are you from the area?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you've been out to this course a few times, eh?
A few times.
So, tell us a little bit about it. What do you think of it?
Oh, it's beautiful. People work real hard. They're very accommodating. Everybody seems to be very, very nice. And we've had some dry summers, and it's recovering nice. It looks good.
Oh, it does look good. We've got a beautiful spring that's going on here. Everything looks nice and green right now.
Yep, it's been dry for a while, but in the last few years it's been dry, but this is gorgeous.
Okay. You guys ever see any wildlife while you're out here?
A lot of deer.
A lot of deer.
A lot of geese. And whatever else you want to see. Partridge. Bear every once in a while, but deer all over the place.
Now, is it a hard course?
Depends on how good a golfer you are and what kind of day you got going.
Well, I can go into any course and say it's hard because that's the kind of golfer I am.
Me too. But we have a good time coming out here. Everybody's accommodating. And
What about favorite hole? You got favorite holes out here?
I had a hole-in-one on that one over there.
You're
so
kidding. When did
quite
that
a few
happen?
years ago.
Okay, still trying to do it again, huh?
Yeah, try it.
That's the key.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the key.
keep trying.
Well, hey, Tom, I appreciate it, buddy. Stopping to talk to it. Okay, we're out here right now. We have come over to hole 12. It's a 4-par, so it's a fairly long one. It's about 326 yards from where the camera's sitting right now. As you can see, it's beautiful. It's pretty straight down there. Though over on the right, it's hard to see because you've got all these woods out here, but there is a little pond over there, so if you hit it off over that way, you're probably going to end up in the water. But you can see that it's how nice it is out here, and you come out here on a day like today and you can't ask for anything better. We're here in the Manistique woods. You're able to see any kind of wildlife when you come out here, and you can have a good time. That's the important part.
All right, we've got time for one more interview before we leave the golf course. And just next door, right along the lake, sits a place filled with history.
The Father Baraga Shrine.
It's the location of his first church almost 200 years ago. We will head there next.
Steve, you've lived up here pretty much your whole life, huh?
That is correct.
Okay. When did this course come along?
Definitely way before me. I mean, we have hole-in-ones on the wall from probably the 30s.
Oh, man.
So it's been here a while.
What do you think of the course?
Probably, in my personal opinion, top 5 in the UP.
Really?
I'm a little biased,
Okay.
but it's a hidden gem, as they call it. So
Do you have special holes you like better than others?
I think hole 4 is probably our signature hole, with the lake as a backdrop and sunsets and everything else. So, I mean, if you can put up with the mosquitoes, it's a good place.
Do have a problem now and then, but
Yeah.
Okay. Now the back nine is more into the woods.
Yes, it's carved through pines, maple, oak, the whole shot. And I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 or 5 deer every hole.
Okay. Yeah, we just came across and spotted one running through the woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
We spooked it off a little bit. Now, what kind of par is this horse?
Par 72, and I mean, it challenges from the average golfer to the better golfers. It's got 4 tee boxes, so you could play front tees or back tees, whatever you choose to do.
Okay. Okay.
So it's obviously harder from the way back.
Yeah. Well, that's longer yards.
Longer yards.
Are we talking? You have par 5s on here?
Yeah, 4 par 5s, probably average around 500 yards a piece, a little more, a little less. And obviously Indian Lake is massive, so a lot of winds come off the lake, and you know, it makes a challenging up in the front side, and back here you're carved in, so it's a little more protected.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you stopping to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Let you get back to your games.
This land has always meant something. Today it's a golf course, but just beyond the trees is a reminder of a much earlier story, one of faith, perseverance, and a man who helped shape this region. This is where Father Baraga built his first church, a simple place of worship that stood at the very beginning of his mission here. Today, a historic marker at the entrance tells that story. On this site, on May 15, 1832, the Reverend Frederick Baraga, then a young Catholic missionary to the Indians, established and blessed his first church. A small building of logs and bark, it was built with the willing help of the Indians and dedicated to the honor of God under the name and patronage of his virginal mother Mary.
The forest is a teacher, the river is a guide. In their silence, the Indians hear the voice of God. I love the Indians. I am ready to spend my life for them. I will remain with my dear Indians as long as God gives me strength.
Until his death in 1868, Father Baraga labored selflessly in an area from Minnesota to Sault Ste. Marie, from Grand Rapids to Eagle Harbor. We are meeting our old friend Winch Diller, who is a lifelong resident of this area. Winch will take us on a guided tour of this shrine.
Great place to make a stop, whether you're by yourself or with the family, is out here on Indian Lake and at the Bishop Baraga Shrine. Now, Winch, you can tell us a little bit about this area and what is it exactly?
Well, it's a small piece of property that was donated to the city years ago, and they've steadily improved on it. This is the site of Bishop Baraga's first church in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Back in 1832.
Wow.
He landed here. There's a tribe of Chippewa Indians that lived here, and this is where they set up his first church.
Okay, first church. Now he's actually traveled all over the upper Midwest here.
Yep.
Through Minnesota, Wisconsin, all through upper Michigan, but this is the first church. That kind of surprised me.
Well, he started on Beaver Island, just kept steadily moving north.
Frederick Baraga was called the Apostles of the Ottawas and the Chippewas. Baraga was born and trained in Europe. He arrived to begin his work here on December 31st, 1830. During his lifetime, Baraga founded many missions in northern Michigan. The original Indian Lake Mission was built in anticipation of his first visit to the area in May of 1832. The chapel, built by local Chippewas, used traditional Indian construction methods and materials such as logs and bark. Based on historical information, the Indian Lake Mission was rebuilt in the early 1980s on the original mission site. In 1984, a grotto was constructed in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary. A 30-foot copper cross reaches high into the sky as the latest addition to the shrine. The site contains an Indian burial ground which contains the remains of Chief Ashwinamaki, his son, and other tribal members. The burial ground was built near the water facing the west, and a path from the water's edge was always kept clear. Upon the death of an Indian, the body was wrapped in a very heavy birch bark, tied with basswood cord, and then placed in a shallow grave over which was placed the spirit house. The houses varied in size and shape. A totem stick identified the deceased and gave any passerby pertinent information about the person. Because it was believed that the 4-day journey to the land of Peninsula was filled with peace and plenty, significant food and drink were placed in the spirit house, along with the body of the deceased person's dog or some other friendly animal. This is a very sacred and solemn place to the Native Americans, so when you visit, please show respect and stay at the perimeter and admire it from afar. The trees surround this place along with the sands of Indian Lake, and if you're quiet when the breeze blows, you will hear the spirits thanking you for your reverence. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show on the golfing and history right here in the town of Manistique, Michigan. If you'd like more information, you can go to our website at greatgetaways.tv, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.